Buying a watch in 1880. If you were in the market for a watch in 1880, would you know where to get one? You would go to the store, right? Well, of course you could do that. But if you wanted one that was cheaper and a bit better than most of the store watches, you went to the train station. Sound a bit funny? Well, for about 500 towns across the northern United States, that's where the best watches were found. Why were the best watches found in the train station? The railroad company wasn't selling watches, not at all. The telegraph operator was. Most of the time the telegraph operator was located in the railroad station because the telegraph line followed the railroad tracks from town to town. It was usually the shortest distance and the right-of-ways had already been secured by the rail line. Most of the station agents were also skilled telegraph operators, and that was the primary way that they communicated with the railroad. They would know when the trains left previous station and when they were due at the next station, and it was the telegraph operator who had the watches. As a matter of fact, they saw more of them than almost all the stores combined for a period of about 9 years. This was all arranged by Richard, who was a telegraph operator himself. He was on duty in the Redwood Falls, Minnesota train station one day when a load of watches arrived from the east. It was a huge crate of pocket watches. When the local Redwood Falls jeweler refused the watch shipment, Richard sent a telegram to the manufacturer and asked them what they wanted to do with the watches. The manufacturer didn't want to pay the freight back, so they wired Richard to see if he could sell them. So Richard did. He disposed of the watches, selling them by letter to other station agents, asking them if they wanted good pocket watch at a low price. He sold the entire case in less than 2 days and a handsome profit. With a $5,000 profit, he started a mail-order watch business in Minneapolis in 1886. That started it all. He ordered more watches from the watch company and encouraged the telegraph operators to set up a display case in the station offering high-quality watches for a cheap price to all travelers. It worked. It didn't take long for the word to spread, and before long, people other than travelers came to the train station to buy watches. Within a year, he had hired Albert as a watch repairman. Richard's ad for the watchmaker. Wanted, watchmaker with reference who can furnish tools. State, age, experience, and salary required. Address T39 Daily News. Richard and Albert left the train station and moved the company to Chicago, and it's still there. In 1887, Richard published a mail-order catalog offering watches, diamonds, and jewelry, all with a money-back guarantee. The business took off and soon expanded to many other lines of dry goods.
Today, together, you and I are going to learn the rest of the story.
Yes, it's a little known fact that for a while in the 1880s, the biggest watch retailer in the country was at the train station. It all started with a telegraph operator, Richard Sears, and his partner Albert Roebuck. Richard Warren Sears, born December 7, 1863 in Stewartville, Minnesota, died September 28, 1914, Waukesha, Wisconsin, American merchant who developed the mail-order jewelry business into the huge retail company Sears Roebuck. Sears' father had been wealthy but lost his fortune in speculation. After his death, the young Sears, age 17, went to work for Minneapolis and St. Louis Railway to support his mother and sisters while working first in Minneapolis and then in Redwood Falls, Minnesota, as a station agent. When a local Redwood Falls jeweler refused the watch shipment, Sears disposed of the watches, selling them by letter to other station agents at a low price. With his $5,000 profit, Sears started a mail-order business in Minneapolis in 1886 under the name of R.W. Sears Watch Company. Within a year, he had hired Albert C. Roebuck as a watch repairman and moved his business to Chicago. In 1887, Sears published a mail-order catalog offering watches, diamonds, and jewelry, all with money-back guarantee. 2 years later, he sold his business for $100,000 and moved to Iowa, intending to be a rural banker. Restless, however, he returned to Minnesota and established a new mail-order firm selling watches and jewelry with Roebuck as his partner. This A.C. Roebuck and Company later became Sears Roebuck and Company, and in 1993 moved to Chicago. By 1893, the company's mail-order catalog had 196 pages, advertising a wide variety of goods, including sewing machines, saddles, bicycles, shoes, and musical instruments. By 1894, the catalog had a span of 507 pages, written almost entirely by Sears. Sears also wrote all the copy for the company's extensive newspaper and magazine advertisements. He had a talent for appealing to the company's predominantly rural Midwestern customers. He experimented with his ideas constantly, first writing the copy, then trying to locate a producer after the orders had started coming and flowing in. In 1895, Roebuck sold the interest of the firm to Julius Rosenwald, who provided badly needed administrative skills that proved a successful complement to Sears' creative marketing. While Sears catalogs brought in orders, Rosenwald reorganized the business, speeding up the customer service system. As a result, there were disagreements over the advertising budget. Sears resigned as president in 1909. He thereafter lived on his farm north of Chicago. Bet you didn't know that. Sears Roebuck and Company. Now that's history. Buying a Watch in 1880. Edited by Ward. Produced by Nobody and Company. Tin Man, Chairman and CEO. Approved by Nobody. Information grabbed from email, Wikipedia, Encyclopedia Britannica, Google Images. A Church Mails Productions release. From your friend, the sane one, Ward. Blessed are the cracked because they let in the light. Retired or retarded, I cannot remember which one. This presentation was created by Ward. Contents come from various sources and I do not claim any as my property. No copyright infringement intended. If any belongs to you, please consider in honor that the contents were worthy enough to be shared. This is the end.